Hi, Pisces. It's Angela. We're going to do a general reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and for October 2022. And remember, this is actually all very evergreen. The messages come through at this time in October. It does not mean you always have to apply these energies only strictly in October. But this is when the message is coming through. And let's see, how much it pertains to you at this time. Usually what I do is I pull an oracle card and give us some guidance, and then we drill down into it and get more details using the Zen Tarot deck that I use. And the oracle card we're pulling from, the deck that we're pulling from, is this one, the Soul's Journey. And the card that I got for you, Pisces, is Change. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. This is interesting because we have a certain relationship to change. Everybody's is different. Everybody's is unique, but there are similar. There's like a couple camps, either change is good, change is bad, right? Like, I don't like change, or I love change. That's kind of how we label it and categorize it for ourselves. But the truth is, change is constant. Like, that's what life is. A series of changes, a series of new events and new information, and always coming through and coming at you, ready for you to either embrace or let it bypass you and wait until another growth point, that you want. But always with change comes some kind of growth or evolvement. It's the nature of it, right? And for you, I'm not sure if there's some situations for you right now, Pisces, that are feeling a little, you're feeling a little resistant to a shift. This could be something in your outside world, like in your waking life, and it also could be something within you that might need to shift. It could be a relationship that needs to shift, that needs to deepen, or become a little more distant. Whatever that is for you, I'm sure you have an idea of what that is for you, right? When we saw the card. So let's dig into it and see the guidance that would be, one possible path to work with change that comes upon us. Okay, let's go down here to the Zen cards, and we have the tree spread here. This is sort of a spread I made up, 2 sets of branches, and the trunk runs all the way through. We have inner energies and things your inner being wants you to know or utilize, and then how they may show up in your waking world, external on the right side there. Starting point is here, and we have schizophrenia. So this is not meaning that you're schizophrenic. This is a state of indecisiveness, right? A state of, oof, I don't know, do I go left or right? This little figure here is clinging to that cliff with feet and hands and can't really make a decision either way. So they end up stuck or paralyzed, just kind of frozen, uncertain how to proceed. So they do nothing, right? So this could be really where some of you are. And as change comes upon you, it may throw you off. It may make you freeze up a little bit at first. Like, I don't know how to proceed. Usually what this card, the guidance is kind of calling, is to sort of let go of both the hands and the feet and just start the tumble and see what comes. See what kinds of support is there for you as you start to free fall. No, really, to see once you release that stuckness, once you release yourself from it, see what comes. Let's grab onto, that cloud on my way down, and maybe get a little buoy up, a little lift up, and everything will be okay. But the guidance is usually to take a step, to take the action, whatever that is. So keeping in mind, whatever your situation of change is, whether you're in a state of resistance or acceptance, right? That's kind of something to focus on too. So let's see what card, the inner energy that supports this indecisiveness here. And it's the ripeness card for sure. So your sense of when to make a move and when to, go forward or embrace the change is up to you. And you'll know that since this is in your inner position, you'll know intuitively what that shift needs to be, when it needs to occur, how much you're going to be, taking action in it, how much you're, what your position is. If you're going to take a passive position and just let the change roll over you, or if you're going to embrace it and make plans and go forward with that energy of change. No matter what, the result is growth, right? So if you choose to resist, if it's a little too much and I don't know if I could take this change right now, or if you choose that resistance, that's okay. That's a choice. And, your process or your progress through it may look a little different than had you been in full acceptance, but there isn't a right and wrong is what I'm trying to say. Like, you can't really go wrong in whatever choice you make for yourself. You make a choice. And then if it's not pleasing, if the outcome isn't pleasing, or you have, some discomfort and you think, oh, I shouldn't have made that decision, then you just make another choice and keep it moving, right? That's the point. Keep that change moving, keep the evolving going. So it's okay, whatever you decide. But the thing is if you're listening within and you're in your alignment, that ripeness card is kind of showing that you'll know when and how to make a move, when change comes upon you. So that's that part. And then the combination of these two energies, right? This sort of indecisiveness and then relying on your intuition to trust actually what decision to make and when to go, results in the external world energy of awareness. So the clarity comes, right? So, say that this change for some of you would be a very big decision, like a pretty major life decision that's upon you. Then I would say, break it down into little steps instead of jumping in with both feet all at once. This, it sometimes can be daunting, but either way, step by step, when to take that step, when to make that move, and it helps. It's almost like you're stepping through, say, like a foggy hallway. There's a hallway filled with doors and it's very foggy and you're unsure where to go next, and you just start testing out one by one. You feel for the door, you open it, it's clear in that room, so you move toward the clarity. You feel for another door, you open it, it's a little still foggy and unsure, or it feels like there's barriers in there. You can move away from that and make another choice. So it's really a series of choices in that energy, but the clarity comes with each step. Even if the foggy room brings no clarity, there's still clarity on what direction not to go, right? So you keep moving. So that's kind of the vibe there. I feel that that there's some of you that this change vibration isn't really anything major that you're upon in your life, and it's just a reminder to carry the quality or the understanding within you of receptivity, of openness, and that I'm willing to take on whatever comes at me. I will make a decision as it comes upon me. I'm not going to sit here and think, okay, if that happened, then I'll do this. If that happened, well, that's all a bunch of, imagination. That's a bunch of future tripping going on there. And what you might want to do is just kind of be more centralized, be more centered and aligned, and then be ready for whatever comes about. right? Some of you, this is a major choice. This is a major decision that you're in or you're about to be in. And the guidance is the same. It's just that if it feels, maybe it feels a little heavier because there is, one big event of change that's coming upon you that you have to make decisions on how to navigate it. But regardless, listening to your inner voice and then acknowledging the clarity that comes with that and the growth, and then going to the next step. That's your best bet. That's your best path forward. Okay, now we have this card here is the next card, and this is going to be your key to moving forward. And you're going to be literally evolving and growing up to this next set of branches, right? So that's the key here. And I got adventure. Look at that. Okay, so I love that. So, on the heels of your gaining clarity, right? The veil is lifted. You can see more clearly. You know what your next steps are. You know what your next steps are, and you'll go toward it, but you don't always know the outcome. You don't really know what fully to expect. Like this little figure is moving toward that rainbow, doesn't really know what's there, but she knows she's leaving the darkness into the rainbow light. And that's kind of all she knows. And she's going toward it with an eagerness and a sense of adventure, a sense of, I'll try it out, right? That's what the change vibration gives us, is I'll try it out. I'll take that risk, or I will take the steps toward that. And then, if it doesn't feel right, once I'm getting closer or arriving there, I shift and I make another turn. But it's proceeding with eagerness and kind of making it more, less heavy. Like I said, we either have people that are like, change is good or change is bad. And I would like to argue that it is neither. It just is. And, how we label it and the perception that we put on it matters, because it will inform the quality of our experience going forward. So taking it as it is, change is there, change is always there. And when it comes upon me, I will make a decision in each moment, an intuitive decision, how to proceed in each moment. And then I will go forward with eagerness to see the turnout, to see the outcome and how this turns out. Follow myself down that road and discover it as it occurs, instead of trying to decide this is the outcome I want. Let me go toward, that gets a little stickier, because then life happens and unexpected things come through and we end up disappointed sometimes. So it's really pulling back and being more present moment, and then trusting that you have what it takes, and you will know when to proceed and how, and then just trusting that and letting it all flow forward. Okay, so now we have here this row here. Now that we've agreed with ourselves that we're going to move forward with a sense of eagerness, let's see how this turns out, let's see what else I can discover, we come to this level of awareness, and this is your higher self on board now. And now we have a card of celebration. So yeah, so just having gotten through these energies, these lower sort of indecisiveness and not quite sure, but getting a little clarity little by little, and then being willing to go forward, just that alone is a cause for celebration, right? Because maybe this is working through it in a way that's different than you're used to. Sometimes, just trying one little shift and one little twist in things gives you a different outcome. But either way, that celebration card is for you to acknowledge your success through this navigation, through moving, when something hits you. Sometimes change comes in the form of like a sudden loss, or, a really quick U-turn or right turn, or it feels like a regression. If something, if you're butting up against obstacles and you can't really move forward. And so it feels a little, it's a little disheartening sometimes if we're resisting and pushing against it and putting labels, really judging what that change means to us, instead of, oh yeah, this is what I have to deal with now. Let me absorb it, acknowledge it, and then find my way forward, right? So that celebration card is, I think, really on the level of, hey, I made it through, this lower vibration. I made it through, and now I can see things with a wider perspective. And for that, I celebrate. Internally, and the card that supports this energy of celebration is experiencing. So there's a slowing down now. There's an acceptance of this moment, and then this next moment, and then the following, right? There's a full acceptance of the energies that are present, and actually a full engaging with it, right? As this figure walks through the forest, they're not just passing by the trees, they're with the tree, and the tree is holding and enveloping this person and really experiencing the tree instead of just, oh yeah, walking by. So there's more of a deliberate, focused energy once we get through these lower vibrations. Once we decide I'm going to take any step forward and be guided by my intuition, and then keep going forward, even through the unknown, even toward the unknown. Then if you slow that pace down and pull it in a little bit and allow yourself to experience the outcome of those choices before making another decision or before making another move, that's where the fulfillment comes. Even if it feels, oh, this didn't turn out the way I thought or I expected, it still is your experience to have. And making the best of that, and using your higher self to help you with moving through that experience with the best quality that you could possibly have, it's kind of like one of the magic keys to how we get through strife and obstacles in our life. Is if we just, instead of pushing forward aggressively, we kind of pull in and allow ourselves to feel what move to make next. So I love that. I love that experiencing card. And then your final card, and the one that the outcome or the overview of this whole thing is the outsider. And that is it. So change is on the other side of that gate. And you're feeling like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm ever going to make it there. I don't know if I can make the right move, if I could take the right step. But this little boy is like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to take a step. That gate isn't locked. There's a chain on it, but the lock is undone. So it's not a matter of, can I get through? Can I move to the next step? It's a matter of, do I want to? Will I? And just open the gate and move toward it. That's got this same vibration as the adventure card to me. It's like the unknown is there. This is kind of more like that goal, that known thing that you want to go closer to, but you feel separated from it. This is more like it's wide open and I have no idea what to expect, but I'm going toward it anyway. But both of them kind of give us that vibe of, hey, let's go. Let's try a forward movement. So I like that very much. So when you're thinking about, these shifts that come up and blocks that come up in your life, and maybe, sudden change or little incremental bits of change, making sure that you're aligned and utilizing your own intuition and your own knowing. You know yourself more than anyone, so you know how to proceed and when. And that's a really big key to working with changes that come with us. So I'm going to pull one more card for you from this deck called Notes from the Universe. And we're going to see what the universe wants you to know. It's a little bit of a bonus. I'm going to try this. I feel like my readings are very formulaic, and I thought I would try to mix it up. Okay, so for you, Pisces, the message that the universe wants you to know: start where you are. I love it. That kind of goes right along with the change card. Start where you are. Take the step from where you are. And I mean, some of you might be like, duh, but sometimes we jump ahead so many steps that we can't really see the path that clearly anymore. We think we can navigate it, or we can construct the path, but when the change comes about, right, the path could take a different form, or it could give us little detours and stuff. And so just being able to be fully aligned and then take that step forward, start where you are, that's the guidance there. It kind of reminds me of this outsider card again, right? Just open the gate and take one step forward, right? So that's your final message there. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll be back again soon. Give me, give me the likes and the subscribes, whatever it is that you do with my channel to get it moving forward. It's really helpful. I'm starting to see some light here and a little bit more activity on the channel, so that's good. And that's it for now. Okay. Thanks, Pisces. I'll see you soon.